Hello everyone, if you've enjoyed this story so far and want to experience a completed version, author Evil Krista, or on page known as Krista Abel, has published the full tale, The Forest, in her collection, Dark Arteries. You'll find the link to the book in the description below. Thank you for listening, and let's return to the darkness. I left a trail of red behind me as I limped towards the inevitable conclusion of this horrible day. Adrenaline seeped slowly from my veins and my limbs grew heavy. My axe felt like it weighed 1,000 pounds and I dragged it with me, refusing to drop it. I paused at the edge of the twisted forest I had fought through. I knew if I looked behind me, I would be able to chart my path in a winding trail of carnage. I stood, breathing heavily, my boots toeing the line of what hard-packed earth. I could feel a dry heat rising from the ground completely unlike the swamp. I knew without a shadow of doubt that if I crossed into this place I would learn the truth. I knew the horrors I had seen so far would pale in comparison to what I would face in that emptiness before me. There were things in there that I could not see, or would not. I wasn't sure which. A deep shudder ran through me. Fuck it. I lifted my axe, gripping it with both hands, and took a step forward. My foot went through what I had thought was deep red dirt, my body twisting in an effort not to plant face first in a ground that was not there. I tumbled down, realizing that it was some sort of dense crimson fog. I could feel my heart in my throat, my stomach bottomed out, and I screamed in terror as I broke through that non-existent barrier. It was like every single dream of falling I had ever had all rolled into one. It felt like forever. I could feel gravity's pull, and I knew that I was about to splatter on the ground. I could feel it rushing towards me. My whole body locked up in anticipation. I impacted the water I had not seen with such force that I blacked out. I woke up sometime later, coughing and vomiting foul liquid. I was laying on the shore of a deep yellow lake. It smelled like sulphur. Every individual cut on my body burned like fire. It felt like I was covered in acid. I began to convulse, and blackness took me again. I was drifting somewhere close to awareness when I realized I was being dragged. I could feel the haft of my axe in my hand and my fist close reflexively around it. My arms were above my head, and there was something wrapped around my left leg. I could feel the ground sliding beneath me as I was pulled. I waited for the pain to come from my numerous injuries, but it didn't. I opened my eyes and watched as the roof of the cavern I had fallen into, which was hundreds of feet above me, slide past. I took a deep breath and sat up. I was a few feet from the edge of the lake I had fallen into, and there was a fucking tentacle wrapped around my leg, pulling me towards the sulphuric abyss. With a wild shout, I swung the axe down and chopped into it. The water erupted into a seething mess and I was lifted and flung away. I soared for the air and smashed into the ground as the lake churned. Tentacles lifted into the air and slapped down on the water. I scrambled further away from the edge, panting. What the fuck? What the fuck? What the actual fuck? My normal eloquence had left me somewhere between that first terrible giggle and the popping of that disgusting egg sac, and it seemed my vocabulary was reduced to expletives. I watched from what I judged to be a safe distance as the churning water slowly settled and the tentacles slid, almost gently, back into the depths, and the surface of the water grew still. A dark stain rose from the depths, mirroring that perfect yellow. I stood staring at the stain for a long time, desperately trying to get my brain to come to terms with my new and present hell, when a voice behind me spoke. I truly didn't think you were going to make it there, bud. Well done.